Hey y'all, so Jay here back at it again. If you see that glitching, don't mind it. I don't know what the heck's going on my phone. But this is my 9-month update. I'm sorry that I'm not in the position that I usually am. But yeah. So 9 months I haven't really seen a difference. I might have. I haven't really been thinking about like the changes and stuff. But that shit's glitching OD. What the heck is wrong with it? But I haven't really seen a lot of changes except for my voice and my muscle mass. I missed my shot the other week, and my emotions was just like crazy. I was like, yo, I gotta get back on my testosterone. But I haven't really noticed a lot of changes. I haven't really gotten facial hair either. But this video I didn't really want to make about me being trans, only because like I'm going through way more bigger things than just me being trans, you know what I mean? So 2021 is over, 2022 is here, and you know how like some people say like you'll make this year a better year, or you like it's new me, new year, or new year, new me. I don't really, count that as like new year, new me. I just count it as like there's gonna be different changes that are gonna happen, you know what I mean? And you're just gonna have to adjust. But excuse me. This video I just wanted to like really make about like how I'm really feeling and like be truthful and honest with you guys, myself, because like I feel like it's just time to like grow up. I'm about to be 20 in like a month and some change. Not even. My birthday is February 13th, so a lot is changing really fast, and I feel like, especially when you're on hormones and stuff, but like your mind's always changing when you grow as well. So I just wanted to be honest. So I've been going through a lot of like, I don't even know how to describe it. I just been going through a lot of shit, and I don't really know how to be honest. Like, it's hard when you're trying to figure out who you are for like a long period of time, and you really just don't understand yourself. And for a long time I was like, going through, the whole process of like figuring yourself out and figuring like who you really wanted to be. And for me, like everything that I thought I was, I'm not. For instance, like I already knew that a lot of people don't know. If you don't know now, you know, I'm pansexual. So I like personality over gender, if that makes sense. Like I'll date anybody as long as they got a good personality and we click and we match and stuff like that. So I broke up with my ex, and I was in a toxic relationship for a long time, and I think that's where it really stems from, being in a toxic relationship. And trying to be somebody you're not. The person I was with, she didn't really understand how to help me mentally, and she didn't really, she wasn't very sensitive, the way I was sensitive, and I always try to conform to being something I was not just because I wanted to please her, you know what I mean? And as growing up as a girl, you try to be so masculine, and especially when you're around a girl and you're trying to, be the perfect boy for her, you end up being too masculine or being too tough or being too aggressive towards yourself, you know what I mean? And after, breaking up with her recently, I realized like a lot of the things I was doing was not because I wanted to, or acting the way I was acting was not because I wanted to. It was just because I turned into a person I wasn't because of trying to please her, and that led to a lot of different issues down the line. But I realized I turned into a person I didn't want to be, and now it's trying to unravel that cycle and unravel those bad habits and turn them into good habits that are really like, really hard for me, you know what I mean? Because like you get used to it, and I've been with her for 4 years. So 4 years of training yourself to do things that you don't really do, they become normal after a while, you know what I mean? But I really feel like I've turned into a person I didn't want to be, and became less emotional about things and just very like aggressive towards a lot of people and pushed a lot of people away. Um, and being a man, like I never had a dad, so I didn't, especially even growing up as a girl, I never had that role model of like what a guy is supposed to be like, or how you're supposed to be. Um, and I've always been like a very sensitive type of person. Um, Even from growing up, I've been through a lot, so it's not very easy for me to not care about things, if that makes sense. Um, and so going into that, now I'm with a whole different person. I'm with a boy. He's my first boyfriend, and I realized a lot of things that I never really picked up on and that we've talked about. But I've realized that I used to be so scared to be with a guy because I felt like it would it would change the fact of like my masculinity, almost, of like I don't want to be with a guy because he's a boy and that's what I want to be like, you know what I mean? Um but I've realized that it's not about masculinity. I think it's just the person. And a lot of trans people, especially trans men, they get confused with it because they feel like they have to be a certain way. And that's one thing I don't like about labels and being trans, is because you feel like you have to act a certain way and be a certain way at all times. Like if you don't have a binder on, you don't feel like you can go outside, because you see men and you think that they have a flat chest, so you have to have a flat chest, it's all a mental thing. But I feel like when I jumped into something new, I got something that I wasn't expecting. So when we started dating finally, I was surprised because I didn't think I would enjoy dating a boy so much the way I do. You know what I mean? And he's changing my perspective little by little. Like he has more of a sensitive side compared to me, and I don't. And I used to have a sensitive side, but dealing with so much toxicity in my life, it kind of brought me back to, oh shoot, like this is how I'm supposed to be, And labels, he doesn't label anything. Like he's very, just very content with who he is, and it makes me more content with who I am as a person, because before I was dealing with somebody who was insecure, so her insecurities were coming on me, and now I'm insecure more because I'm trying to do things that make her happy, but I'm forgetting about myself. So it was a whole big issue. But I realized that change is what I'm trying to get at. Is change is good, and um, not caring about what other people think. I think that's the biggest thing for a lot of trans men, is like caring about what other people think constantly, because it's not only about, you see yourself every day in the mirror, but if we didn't have labels, we wouldn't, not necessarily not care, but we wouldn't identify it with being male or female, you know what I mean? The way we do now, you know what I mean? And I feel like my whole life I've been searching for clarity and like who I am, but the only person that can tell you who you are is the person inside of you. I'm not talking about your flesh. I'm talking about your soul, because I thought I knew what I wanted like my whole entire life, and now everything's getting turned upside down and rearranged, and it's showing me a different perspective, like what I want or what I've always wanted. Um, I've always knew I was pansexual since I was young, but I think it took a lot for me to get to where I am, to really understand it and be comfortable with it, because I knew I didn't want to be a girl, but I knew I was more flamboyant. I knew I was more flamboyant than most men, you know what I mean? I can be masculine, I am masculine, but that's not all I am. I feel like a lot of trans men are scared to show that feminine side because they feel like, well, I'm not supposed to be feminine if I'm trans, you know what I mean? And that's the whole notion of like labels, where it messes you up, because then you're like, well, your characteristics, who you are never going to change. because you grew up that way. That's just you. Your mannerisms are you. And sometimes growing up as a girl, you have feminine mannerisms that you don't realize, but it's like you're trying to stop it because you think that it's not okay. And I feel like I've been doing that my whole entire existence, and like trying to be somebody I'm not, and trying to fit into this and trying to fit into that. And it's like, just be yourself, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to get at. Just be yourself. Like, before I came out as trans, not trans, but like I've been out for as trans for like 6 years now. But I've already knew I wanted to be a boy since I was like 4. But me coming out and like, just me being trans, like a boy, you know what I mean? And like everybody knowing I was a boy, it was very, not shocking. Nobody was shocked, but I feel like it was just very taboo back then, where it was just like you had to, be one way. You had to do this, you had to do that. And for me, it was easy to dress like a guy because I hated girl clothes. I always had an athletic body, a masculine body type. And that's where I thought, like, since I have a masculine body type, I will never look good as a girl, you know what I mean? And so it switches in your mind, like, oh, shoot, well, maybe I can't do this, And growing up, now I'm realizing that there's certain things I like about being biologically female. I'm not talking about for every trans man. It's not for every trans man. And I feel I hate when trans men judge other trans men, because it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, we've been judged so much, so why judge somebody else, That's just how I think. But I realized that I want to be free in who I am. I don't like to have label. I know that I want to be a boy and that I am a boy, because I felt like that for so long, and I know I am. But label-wise, I don't want to have a label of whether I'm a boy or a girl, because I feel like if we never had labels, we would not be a boy or a girl. We would just be us. And that's how I think about it. But in retrospect, like, I just get scared sometimes because of, like, what people are going to say. And it's like, sometimes you say, like, I don't care what people are going to say just to make yourself feel better. But in reality, your mind is still thinking, like, oh, shit. And that's why I can't do certain things still to this day, because I feel like I'm stopping myself subconsciously. And I don't like saying I'm a boy or I'm a girl, because I do have feminine features and masculine features. I'm androgynous. I've always been androgynous. And people find that either attractive or not attractive. But now that I'm growing up and I'm seeing it, and I'm with somebody that really accepts me for me, I'm realizing that it's not as big of a deal as it is way back when. You know what I mean? And I wanted to try, like, switching my style up, whether it's, dressing more sleek and, flashy, or whatever I want to do. I want to do whatever I want to do without having to say, James, this is right or wrong. And I feel like that's also because a lot of people know me one way. And it's hard to say that you don't care until you just do it. But it's also hard to just do it when you still care, So, I'm just in that weird spot in my life where I'm accepting who I am, and I'm trying to get rid of the notion of labels in my life, because I feel like labels are just a waste of time, and they consume a lot of what you do in this society of, like, a world. If somebody got, Gucci flip-flops, which is a label, then everybody want Gucci flip-flops because it's a label, just because of the label, Gucci. And I feel like a lot of people transition into being trans because it's not the trend, but I think it's just because they found out what they wanted and it suits them better, but they're missing out on the other half of who they are because they're focused on the label, if that makes sense. And not that I did that. I already knew. I was doing my research for 5-6 years at a time. But I think that, when you get older, you don't realize how much your mind switches into being more open-minded. I've always been an open-minded person. But now that I'm growing older, I'm not giving a fuck. So now it's like, okay, Now I'm more open-minded because I don't care, you know? But I want to dress up like a girl one day. Like, I want to, like, do both. That's just me. You know what I mean? I want to do both. I want to express myself in a way that I feel comfortable. And not saying that I want to, go all the way with it, but I want to try it, I remember I was wearing, like, earrings, like, long earrings. And I thought it was cool because it was, like, punk, punk. Like, I'm very open and diverse. And I was wearing earrings, and my ex was like, yo, they look ugly on you. And I'm like, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for me. You know what I mean? And that's the first time where I really got criticism from somebody I thought loved me, and I loved them too. But in reality, like, we was never in love. But I think that was the first time where I really realized that, oh shit, maybe I can't do this because now people are recognizing me and seeing everything that I'm doing. But I have to realize that I have to be happy with who I am in order to accept what I want to do. You know what I mean? And how free I want to be. And I found a person that's very accepting, and he's loving, and he's caring, and he's genuine, and he's also very open to just do him. You know what I mean? And he shows me that it's okay to just be you. And I feel like I've been so trapped in a spiral effect of bad energy with who I am that it kind of brings negative energy onto people because I'm not happy. But that's really what I wanted to talk about. I know I've been ranting and I've been talking, but I really just wanted to get that out because I made this new song called I forgot what I called it. Damn, I'm losing my mind. It's like 2 in the morning. But I made this song, and it explains, like, what I feel like in a song. You know what I mean? And how I am in a song. And I feel like I'm on a good track. I just got to understand that labels are not in my concern. You know what I mean? I don't want to be known as a trans man. I just want to be known as me. James, Old Soul J, J Rhymes. I also got mixed personality, so it's like I'm also not me. You know what I mean? So it's like it's very hard for people to understand. But comment down below if you feel this way or if you understand what I'm talking about. And comment down below your opinion. I don't really, not that I don't care for your opinion, but it won't bother me if you have an opinion, because I feel like everybody's opinion is valid because it's theirs, but it doesn't define how I go about certain things, if that makes sense. But thank you all for listening. Thank you for staying tuned. Sorry my phone is glitching. If you see it, you saw it. But I really just wanted to make a video because I feel like a lot is changing. I'm moving tomorrow, well, today. I just think that this was a video that needed to be said. And the first part of me being open with y'all. And comment down below if you like these rants or if you like me talking. I don't know. But peace, y'all.